Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm sure that many of you have heard the name Koch Industries. It is a well-known oil company, but now they do lots of different things, owned by Charles Koch. It's also run by him. His brother recently passed, but you may have heard this name at political debates in the news, typically disparaging the Koch brothers or Koch Industries without giving much thought about who Charles Koch is, his values, his principles. So um, I actually want to direct you to one specific quote that is in Humane Vision of Wendell Berry, edited by Mark T. Mitchell. And in it, it says, because of the asymmetry between profits and virtue, a regulatory bureaucracy is erected to make up the difference. Regulations become a substitute for virtue. Of course, as regulations increasingly pressure corporate executives, they will naturally find themselves focusing on the bureaucratic minutiae of the regulations rather than on the self-imposed moral probity that virtue requires. Charles Koch does not focus on the regulatory minutiae. He focuses on something called principled entrepreneurship. And in one of Koch Industries' videos entitled "It's Time to End the Divide," Charles Koch focuses on the free market success of the Dutch. Um, Back in the 17th century, the Dutch were widely successful, using capital to develop wealth among merchants. And it wasn't a social class structure by name. And it was a tolerant society. They accepted a variety of ideas, they listened to them. And these are the very principles that Koch industry builds itself on. Well, in Breaking Barriers by Charles Koch as well, he cites what he calls something called the Great Enrichment Period that was between 1800 and today. He notes that the standard of living rose by 3,000%. It was a hockey stick of success. And this is something that he pushes forward in his own company. He cares about the qualitative measurement of success over necessarily the quantitative, because one works with the other. And so he believes economic success should be measured this way. And finally, in an interview with Charles Koch called Uncommon Knowledge, this is an interview with Peter Robinson. Peter Robinson notes that Koch Industries today is worth over $100 billion. And this is not someone who focuses on just collecting profit or trying to cheat someone out of a cheap buck. No, he focuses on what he calls integrity. And he discusses how his father put him to hard work at a very early age. But most significantly, he wanted to build upon values for others, whether it's his employees or his customers, to create long-term success. And he has proven that since 1960, when he took over as CEO of his father's medium-sized oil company. He has now driven it to $100 billion company today. And he continues to add value in society by creating thousands of jobs and creating value and employees for his customers through sheer innovation alone. And it is with these principles that he posits that companies who don't follow such codified principles don't follow the true free market that Adam Smith talks about in his own work. Thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your evening.